What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Video Homicide, and today we're going to be covering a movie that I've heard about for years. I think it was first brought to my attention by James Rolfe, also known as the AVGN from Cinemassacre, and he had talked about it years ago. So I never really took the time to sit down and watch it in its entirety. I think I might have started it one night, or maybe I've seen a few clips of it here and there, but today I seriously sat down and watched Riki-Oh, also known as The Story of Ricky, and this movie kicked my ass. Okay, I was already captivated with it being called The Story of Ricky, with my name being Ricky, of course. And man, I'm telling you, I'm so happy that this movie exists because it's literally 90 minutes of pure ass kickery. Now, I've watched quite a few Asian films in the last couple of days. This one being the first one that wasn't Japanese. This film was made in Hong Kong, and it was so fucking cool and just very up my alley. So basically, the story of Riki-Oh goes like this. Basically, Ricky, who's this, when he's a kid, the movie's kind of told in a, non-linear way in certain parts, but I'll kind of describe it in a linear way just to give you a better idea of how it goes. So when Ricky's a kid, everyone knew he had like these superhuman kind of powers, and nothing too extravagant. He just can't really get hurt like that easy. He's got like this intolerance to intolerance to pain and different things like that. Anything that can injure him or injure a regular person wouldn't necessarily affect him in the same way. So his father eventually dies, and he goes to visit the gravesite one day, and that's where he meets his Uncle Ghost. And his Uncle Ghost teaches him this crazy martial arts form, and it basically helps bring out his superhuman powers even more. And at the same time, Ricky has this girlfriend, and they're messing around, they're flying RC airplanes in the park and all that, having a good old time. And one day his girlfriend is actually walking home from a study hall program, and she's basically accosted by these drug dealers, and then she jumps off the roof. She gets away, she jumps off the roof and dies, and Ricky goes in and identifies the body. And then he kind of makes it his mission to find this dope dealer that caused it, and he kills his ass pretty good. And then that's why Ricky is being sent to prison. So jumping back to the start of the film, we got the prison bus heading to the jail that's run by this total son of a bitch they call the Cyclops, because one of his eyes is not, it's like a glass eye, but he keeps like a bunch of mints in it, which I find crazy. And before I get too ahead of myself, the guy that plays the Cyclops is actually the actor Ricky's real life father. So I thought that was pretty cool. But Ricky is like, he's put through a bunch of different tests in terms of, facing these assholes in the shower. And, but Ricky has like this love for humanity, this love for mankind and stuff. So he feels bad about, killing people. He doesn't want to see anyone mistreated or anything like that. And it comes out throughout the film. Like, even the people that attack him, he still, feels like they have a right to live, But the prison guards and the assistant warden, this Cyclops guy, he's just a total dick about everything. And I gotta say right now, the amount of practical effects in this movie is unheard of, and every scene is so fucking good. Every time you see someone get punched in the face, they don't just get punched in the face, they get uppercutted, and the hand goes right through the bottom of their jaw and then up through their face, like their mouth, and all kinds of just madness like that. You got a guy that if you're aware with woodworking, a thing called a planer, which is basically a utensil to shave down pieces of wood. This one dude, like right in the first maybe 10 minutes of the film, gets that across the face. And then that guy he eventually ends up killing himself, and that kind of sparks Ricky's real rage in the film. And in this prison, there's 4 wings: the east, south, west, and north. And in every wing, there's like a head honcho kind of guy. They call him the Gang of 4. And each one of them is basically like a boss, you know what I mean? And Ricky has to take them out one way or another. And there's one called Tarzan, who's like this giant fucking dude. There's the first guy he faces is kind of like this almost like triad kind of guy with tattoos all over his back and that kind of shit. And he has like a buck knife, which is insane. The Cyclops gives him a buck knife, which I just thought was hilarious. Giving the prisoner like a, because usually they have like a really archaic shank, but in this, here's a buck knife. And not only that, but the buck knife sheath is like filled with like something that he throws in Ricky's face to like blind him. And It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And then uh, Ricky ends up meeting this kid who's got like his tongue chopped off, and he trying to teach him how to like basically make music with a leaf, and he finds out that there's all these poppies being grown because the kid's trying to make this music with these poppy leaves. And if you didn't know, poppies are the main ingredient in opioids, and so heroin, opium, oxycontin, like all that kind of shit, right? So Ricky finds out about this huge poppy field and destroys it, and the assistant warden is totally pissed. And then eventually, after Ricky kind of destroys two members of the gang of four, the real warden comes back from his trip from Hawaii, which he comes with like his son, who's like a total I don't even know what you'd call him, but just like a cherub, like a little fucking, like a chubby Chinese guy with like fucking like a bowl cut, and he's got like a jack-o'-lantern pin on his green suit, which I thought was outrageous. And the warden, or the assistant warden, who was like the total like, I'm the boss, like now he's acting like an under, you know what I mean? And then the assistant, or the real warden, comes along and basically puts Ricky through even more tests. He's pissed about the opium or the poppies being burnt down, and they bury Ricky alive for like 7 days, but Ricky survives it. There's even a scene during that burial part when they bury him that when these two other assholes from the gang of four come along, and they like basically uppercut a dog, and it like flies in half, and they stuff its heart in Ricky's like air valve that they supplied him with. And oh man, I know that I'm downplaying the amount of effects in this movie, but I'm telling you, this is right up there with movies like Dead Alive, right up there with like even Tokyo Gore Police. Like that was a gory film, but this is like 100% practical. Like I didn't see one compute, like this is from 1991, so we're talking quality stuff here. And I'm not sure how big of a budget this was or what type of production company it was, but it looked really good. I actually managed to find like a really clean copy online. I would highly recommend checking it out. But now that I keep going all over the place, I apologize for that. But basically, now that the real warden's there, at the very end of the film, Ricky fights the warden, who also happens to be trained in the same style, but you wouldn't really know it because the fight doesn't last that long. But the warden like kind of turns into this huge, like, almost like a Goro kind of guy, but only with two arms, of course. And Ricky just kicks his ass, man. He kicks his ass. So I think in the movie you got about like maybe 5 or 6 quality fights. The rest of it is just kind of like prisoners getting their ass kicked and stuff like that. But you're in for a ride when you watch this flick. And not only is it an amazing movie, this movie is not available on YouTube, but there are 2 animes based on the same material that are available to watch on YouTube right now. So I will leave links to both of those in the description of this video. I didn't watch either one of them. I did glance through the first one just a little bit. It looks like a pretty much carbon copy of the live action film. I'm not sure if it was based on a manga. It probably was a lot, or I don't know what you'd call a manga in Chinese, but a comic book. And it looks like it's pretty much an exact adaptation type of thing. So I'm looking forward to checking those out. Like I said, they're available on YouTube. So I don't know, man. With that being said, the story of Ricky gets my stamp of approval 100% because this one was really an ass kick fest all the way around. I love the main actor that plays Ricky. I believe his name was Louis Fan. And like I said, his dad was actually in the film. And yeah, you get a pretty colorful cast of characters. I really did like the Cyclops guy. There's another guy, I think they called him the Mad Dragon, who's like this really fat, like almost sumo wrestler type of guy that gets his ass beat by Ricky. Like everyone gets their ass kicked by Ricky in this movie. So had a lot of fun with it. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody for watching. Adios. Stay tuned for more videos coming up. And like I said, if you have any recommendations that you want me to check out, just leave a comment on the latest videos kind of thing, and I will get to them when I get to them, and hopefully sooner than later, you know what I mean? I'm trying to pump out at least one video a day, so it's not that hard to watch one movie a day and film a video and all that kind of stuff, get them up there. It's just a lot of fun for me, so I appreciate everyone for sticking around, so adios.